Hi everybody, it's Miss Sarah here. I'm hanging out at my house and I have some pretty cool stuff to share with you today. Some of you, I don't know if you know, I am married to a firefighter. He is a firefighter in Moon and they are an entirely volunteer department. So that means that they don't stay at the station and get paid. They are at home doing their jobs, and when their phone goes off, they'll get a notice that there's an emergency and they go and they help. So I thought it'd be fun to share some of the different helmets that he has here. So this is a traditional fiberglass helmet, pretty cool. It has this face shield that's integrated. It slides down to protect your face. Very cool, right? And then you can flip it up, flip it down. I also have this very traditional, this is a handmade leather helmet, and it has face shield that flips down, so it goes up and down. So that's more of a traditional looking helmet with the traditional red, and it's got the reflective stripes on it. So that's a very cool helmet. The last helmet I have to share with you is really neat. It's different. It is based on a European style helmet. So they call this a jet style. Isn't that cool? It's very streamlined. And see, they all have this protection here for the neck of the firefighter. And then this one also has that integrated face shield. Oops. That pops down. And it covers your entire face. Isn't that cool? Very neat. Streamlined. So this is a new helmet for the US market, but it's been popular so far in Europe. So that's a very cool helmet also. So what do you think? I've got some stories about fires and firefighters to read to you today. The first one is one of my favorite, Clifford, the firehouse dog. I really love this big red dog. Do you guys like the big red dog? I have a large black dog. She's outside right now. And she's not nearly as big as Clifford. Clifford's pretty big, huh? He's as big as that building. Let's see what happens when Clifford is the firehouse dog. These are all written by Norman Birdwell. My name is Emily Elizabeth, and this is my dog, Clifford. Clifford is not the oldest in his family, but he is the biggest. He's huge. Last week, Clifford and I went to the city to visit Clifford's brother, Nero. Clifford knew the way. Nero lives in a firehouse. He is a fire rescue dog. Very cool. I asked the firefighters if Clifford could help them. They thought he was the right color for the job. Matches their trucks. Just then, a group of school children came in for a fire safety class. They learned fire safety rules. Nero showed them what to do if their clothing was on fire. You stop, you drop, and you roll. To smother the flames, you stop, drop to the floor, and roll until the fire is out. Clifford thought he could do that. He repeated the lesson for the class. He stopped right there in the middle of the street. He dropped, boom, right there on the street. And he rolled. He rolled a little too far. Their poor little shop. Just then we heard the siren and there was a fire. Nero stayed to guard the children. Clifford and I ran ahead. He cleared the street for the fire trucks. Everybody got out of the way of the big red dog, huh? Smoke was pouring from the top floor of a tall building. Clifford pushed the crowd back to a safe place. He saw some people in trouble. See him up there on the top floor. Clifford to the rescue! The heavy hose was hard to unreel. Clifford gave the firefighters a hand. See that big hose wound up on their truck? But then he saw that the fire hydrant was stuck shut. See the fire hydrant? They have special tools that opens this up so they can access the water inside. Thank goodness Clifford was there to unstick it. They had to get the smoke out of the building. Clifford made a hole in the roof. The firefighters were calling for more water. What did he find? Clifford found some from that water tower at the building next door. He helped clear the smoke away. Oh, he blew in like a big fan. When the fire was out, Clifford made sure that the firefighters got out of the building safely. And they were grateful for everything that Clifford had done to help. We gave some firefighters a ride back to the firehouse. Clifford was a hero. The fire chief made him an honorary rescue dog, just like his brother Nero. And look, there's some cool fire safety rules in here. You should have your number of the fire department at your telephone. You can always dial 911. Know 2 different ways out of your house or apartment building. Know 2 different ways to get out. And choose a place. Your family should always have a meeting place where you can meet outside if there's an emergency and you need to leave the building. And you don't ever go back into your house for anything. Anything. Nothing's more important than you. So you take yourself outside. Tell your mom and dad to change the battery in your smoke alarms every year. This is a good suggestion. On your birthday. Never use the stove without an adult. That is a very good rule. Do not play with matches. Fire can be dangerous. Very cool. So that is Clifford, the Firehouse Dog. The other book I have is called Elliots Fire Truck. Some of you might know my son's name is Elliot. My husband's a fireman. Somehow we ended a book called Elliots Fire Truck. Makes sense, right? Elliot is actually a stuffed animal. He's a stuffed animal, and he's a moose. Look, this is by Andrea Beck, Elliots Fire Truck. Elliot Moose jumped aboard his bright red fire truck. "Fire Chief Elliot to the rescue!" he yelled. He cranked up the siren. Woo, woo! He strapped on his helmet, and with a mighty push, he rolled into the hall. Today, Elliot was a firefighter, and he felt courageous. There he is, wheeling out on his fire truck. Socks was digging through her costume box. There's Socks. She's a sock monkey. When Elliot rounded the corner, she tossed him an old raincoat. "Who are we going to rescue today?" she said. "I'm saving you," said Socks. "No, you're not," said Socks. "I want to be a firefighter. We can rescue someone else." Elliot thought for a moment. "Let's rescue Paisley," he said. So they dragged the truck upstairs and sped off to find their friend Paisley. There they are. 1, 2. Elliot and Socks spotted Paisley in the library. Look at the library with all those books in there. They skidded to a stop in front of the big desk. "Look, a 4-alarm fire!" shouted Socks. "We'll save you, Paisley!" yelled Elliot. But before they could unwind the hose, Paisley peeked over the edge of the desk. "Firefighters!" he cried. "Oh boy, can I be a firefighter too?" Elliot pushed his helmet back. "Socks and I were going to rescue you," he said to Paisley. But Paisley was already climbing down from the desk. "There's been an explosion at Big Bed," he cried. "We need to rescue Amy." "An explosion at Big Bed?" gasped Socks. "Let's go," said Elliot. Paisley hopped onto the truck and they sped off to find their friend Amy. There they are at Big Bed. With the 3 firefighters on board, the truck went much faster. At Big Bed, they screeched to a halt. Elliot set up the ladder, Socks unwound the hose, and Paisley grabbed the first aid kit. "What a terrible explosion!" shouted Paisley. "Look at those flames!" "Don't worry, Amy, we'll get you down," called Elliot. Amy peeped out from under the bed and grinned. "Are we being firefighters today?" she asked. Then she leapt aboard the bright red truck. There's Amy, hopped right on this fire truck. Elliot groaned. We can't all be firefighters. One of us has to be rescued. Amy smiled sheepishly. Everyone agreed to rescue the next friend that they met, no matter what. With 4 firefighters on board, they had to hold on tight. They were about to push off when Snowy and Puff scampered up and asked to be firefighters too. We have enough firefighters, Socks told the cubs. Besides, you're too little, said Amy gently. Wouldn't you like to be rescued? Said Elliot. We could get you out of a tree or pull you from a fire. The cubs hung their heads. We want to ride on the truck, said Snowy. Yeah, grumbled Puff. Elliot promised to give Snowy and Puff a ride on the truck if they agreed to be rescued first. He felt a little sorry as they trudged off to their den, but then he heard them call, Help! Fire! Save us! Elliot cranked up the siren. At last, they had a rescue. Woo! With 4 firefighters pushing the truck, it hurled down the hall. Hurry, cried Socks. The cubs sound far away. They circled the landing twice and zoomed off. Wee-hoo! Yelled Elliot. The truck careened wildly. We're going too fast, shouted Paisley. And before Elliot could slow down, they crashed into the banister and flew right between the rails. Elliot gripped the last rung of the ladder. Socks clutched the fire hose. Paisley and Amy grabbed onto Socks. They dangled in the air. Help! Cried Socks. Help! Cried Paisley. Someone save us! Squeaked Amy. Elliot hung on tight. Elliot's holding them all up, huh? See, there's the railing and the banister. Elliot looked down. It was a long way to the floor. Who would come to their rescue? We'll save you, cried the cubs. Elliot swallowed. How could 2 little cubs help 4 big firefighters? Snowy and Puff gathered the pillows from all over the house and piled them on the floor beneath their friends. Hurry, begged Elliot. The heap of pillows grew bigger. I'm slipping, cried Socks. The cubs stretched on a blanket over the pillows and held on. Let go, they yelled up to Elliot. They've got a big pile of pillows there. Elliot didn't feel courageous anymore. He was afraid to let go, but his paws began to slip and, whoa, plop! He landed in the middle of the blanket. One by one, Paisley, Amy, and Socks dropped safely onto the blanket too. Everyone gathered round the cubs. Thank you, said Elliot. Snowy and Puff stood up straight. See, we weren't too little. Yeah, see, said Puff. Elliot plunked his helmet on Snowy's head and gave his jacket to Puff. Hooray for Fire Chief Snowy and Commander Puff, he said with a grin. Then everyone raced back upstairs to the fire truck. And this time, Elliot was the first to call for help. So that's pretty fun. Have any of you ever dreamed of becoming a firefighter when you grow up? Or maybe you know a firefighter? Pretty cool. So, I hope you enjoyed these stories, and I hope you enjoyed seeing all the different helmets. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye!